Hello, hello, hello from Hollyland. Happy Wednesday. We are kind of in the post of the Virgo full moon that just happened yesterday at 3:33 a.m. Is that right? Yes. And wow, what a difference a few days can make. Last week, I was sick last week. I don't need to say very. I was sick last week, so of course that already starts to, tank the old noodle from a mental health perspective. So then whenever you're hearing this or finding this is the right time, we are currently in Mercury retrograde. And it's just, we also are in between eclipse seasons and things are just, everybody knows, things are fucking crazy in the world, in the planetary systems, everything. And so we're all feeling it in the different ways that we all feel very deeply. And I just, after these last handful of days and really, really in the thick of the depths, the deeper we dive, the higher we fly. And oftentimes, I've been on my awakening journey for almost 3 years now. And when I just get, tsunamied by this wave, it's like I've never been here before. And your nervous system is completely dysregulated. You're in the middle of a trigger. You're trying to learn how to respond in a different way. Like there's just so much going on. And we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and being human is just, I'm going to start crying. It's so incredibly beautiful to feel so deeply and to be so in touch with the ether, the other, the unseen, God, the universe, your ancestors, spirits, guides, archangels. You get to decide who is on your squad. I call it the God Squad. And it's, it's always just the sky to me. And there's like little glitters over there that I'm seeing. And anyways, all of this flow, learning to, with this Virgo full moon, it was really intense. I also am in a lot of changes in my life right now. And one thing that is incredible about healing is, going into these hermit modes, right? And being able to just tap into your energy and being able to just be with you and your energy and resetting, right? Like a lot of people post awakening, a lot, the friends go, the money's gone, there's no plan B, like things are imploding and exploding all at the same time. And now that I'm a few years outside of that, and I have, just a different view, a higher, literally, my higher self is a hawk. So I really try to jump up in the sky a bit when I'm feeling really overwhelmed and do the pullout. And one of the things that I was noticing within myself over these last few days is I attribute a lot of things to I'm also a projector in human design. Which I believe will be helpful for someone. So as I am learning how to just be this new version, this new spiritual human version of me, I'm learning daily, and then in micro moments, and then in the macro moments, how to be in my energy, how to protect my energy, how to keep myself safe and just protected from fill in the blank, right? And what I noticed over these last handful of days was how just dysregulated my nervous system was really, really, really quickly. And I felt like my battery had been depleted. I felt like I had to really go in and shut down because I just felt like I had no energy. I felt like where did all of this baggage come from? This isn't mine. And also why are you in my dream? You need to get out. And so that for me is very emotionally overwhelming, but it's also the signal to, I think of it like an octopus, like pull back the tentacles, pull back. And what used to take me a lot longer now, thankfully, you know, and it takes a few-ish days. It can take longer. It doesn't really matter. None of that matters. Time isn't real. It's just from a perspective of healing is why I'm sharing that. So I was really in it of being like, okay, I've got to put up some boundaries. I got to protect my energy. I've just got to clean house a bit, right? I got to reset this. Mercury retrograde is the best time for that. Recalibration. And a lot of times it comes with that tower moment and a big emotional hit, and it's a lot. So what I realized was that, okay, yes, while my energetic battery is low, and I would say, you know, red alerting, projector battery, help, it really was, I didn't feel powerful. I didn't feel in my power. And that feeling, and then sitting in that feeling those past feelings and still current feelings of I'm worthless, I'm this, I'm that, I know, you know, I have no purpose. Like you just start going into that dark cave. And the deeper we dive, the higher we fly. So it's every single thing is just as important. The depression and the mania is equal. It's just as important, right? And anywho, so I was just realizing how much, oh my God, my power is gone. Like me, Holly, creating the energy and remembering slowly over time how powerful I am, you are, we all fucking are. It's crazy how powerful we are, and it's always been inside us. Always. And so how do we tap into that? And how do we remind ourselves when we're in the lows, you know, and just figuring life out, figuring out the new things that come in, what's the, you know, shedding of the old Holly that needs to go away, you know, what part of me do I need to have a funeral for, essentially? And the best thing that I have, I guess, realized to do when I feel like my power has been taken by others, first of all, no one can take your power, right? So number one, alert, is bring it in. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb for at least a day, okay? At least a day. D&D, Dungeons and Dragons, at least a day. I say 1 to 3 or more. And you just pull back the energy. Pull yourself in. Pull it back on track. When we are feeling like our power has been depleted, or we're giving it away, or people are taking it from us, or any of the above, it really is just a call to go back inward, remember who the fuck you are, and just reset, doing your gratitude, I have lists of affirmations. I have different lists of affirmations. I've created these over the last few years. The first affirmation I started with was I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. I am safe. And then it grew to a much larger list, and I keep it on my wall. It's just a piece of paper, a large piece of paper. And then I have a money manifestation. I have an alignment manifestation. They're all affirmations, mantras. It's all the same thing to me. It's all just divine alignment. So taking back our power in the beginning, when we realize, you know, you go through the awakening process and you pop out of this portal, realizing, if you're anything like me, people pleasing has been running your life, right? Like people pleasing, really, we can honestly just stop there. I don't need to make a list. People pleasing is so draining, and it's so taxing. And, also as an empath, and I have an open solar plexus center in human design, I have to be really aware of who I'm around and how much of their stuff I'm taking in and on. And I'll 11, of course, as I look down, I'll pull out and I'm like, wait 1 fucking minute. I did not agree to carry this person's trauma through this. I've got my own. I've got enough. We've got enough, right? So I don't need to go on a further string. When we are conditioned to people please, and then we go through our awakening and realize that has been such a detriment to us, and it's a process of shedding. All of this is the awakening process is it's simply a process of shedding all of those things you thought you had to do in order to be loved, essentially. So during the deep dives and really learning my energy type, what kind of energy I want around me, within people, places, and things, it's a journey to discover that, and it's a journey to set boundaries for the first time. It's a journey to refreshing those boundaries when you need to, and feeling empowered to do so. And when I am feeling powerless, or that worthless starts coming up and she starts driving the bus, I'm like, hold on a minute. Where did you come from? Also, I thought we healed enough, and that whole rigmarole, And it can feel so triggering because it's so dysregulating when you have been a people-pleasing princess your whole life. And so all of a sudden, you're getting kind of like, how it feels for me is I'm getting pummeled with energy that I know is not mine. So sometimes it gets to a bit of a explosion for me emotionally, and I just got to shut it the fuck down, and I have to just protect myself and reset the energy. Once you pull that power back and you pull your energy back, it starts to come back online, and you start to feel more like yourself. It's like Stella got her groove back, right? That's how it feels. And it's getting our groove back. It's setting up the boundaries again. It's refocusing our own personal boundaries on communication, on really communication, I feel like is the number one. And how do we let go? How do we release? How do we release that shame, that guilt, those beautiful lower frequency feels, lower frequency? Sometimes we just don't have the human words. So when we're in that and we're feeling that, it can feel so drowning and overwhelming, and you can feel so alone. And really it's just God, giving us the opportunity, even though it feels like you're drowning. It's God giving us the opportunity to just reset ourselves and sit in the presence and knowing and remembering of who you are and how powerful you are, and all of the things that you can do in this human realm. And one of my favorite things to do is I have a power spell, and I will link it, record it. I already recorded it. You know what I mean? So I do a power spell, and I've been working on that for the last, I've really been doing it adamantly. I would say there are some times that I do it every single day. Now is one of those times where I'm really resetting all of the energy around me. And I do my power spell in the morning, and I do that as many times as I wish to. And I have my affirmations. I go da 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 da. And because from my past, I was waking up in fight or flight, panic, running to work late every day. And my biggest thing it was like pre-awakening, was how do I just simply like wake up in a peaceful place? How do I begin? Peace, calm, and freedom are my big three. And those were the first three big feelings that I started to work with and manifest, if you will. How do I go from this life of chaos to this life of peace? And so then at times, as I've worked so hard and so diligently to create that space for myself, I get really, really triggered and just emotionally rocked when I feel like I'm taking on too much of other people's stuff and too much baggage, and I have to be really selective of that. And just remembering when we are in those lows, my left side has chilly chills. When we're in those lows, remembering that it is not going to last. It's not going to last forever. It's not even going to last for as long as you think it's going to last. Even though you feel like you're drowning, but you get to a point where the fear becomes so overwhelming, and your nervous system is just going haywire, that all of a sudden you stand up in the water and you realize it's only to your knees, or you can swim. Ha ha ha. Shout out Cincinnati Marlins. You can swim, you can tread water, you can get in a canoe, you can get on your HMS, anything. Sometimes I'm in a canoe of emotions, and all of a sudden I'm having to beeline to Her Majesty's ship so we can handle the fucking waves that are coming, right? And it's such a beautiful journey and a very painful journey to live your life without feeling powerful or empowered or feeling like you could even tap into that source. And so once you awaken and you start on the healing journey of whatever you specifically were assigned, down here to tackle and to handle and to heal through, it's such a beautiful moment of just re-pivoting and re-remembering how far you've come, who you are, why you came down here, where you come from. That's why the ancestry for me was my manic obsession and continues to just be my very fun thing that I like to do, is look at all of the women in my ancestral line and tapping into that power and going back to really the beginning of what I can find within a generational female line. I'm going to post the power spell, and I'll write it out, and I also have a video of it. It's very quick, it's very easy, but boy oh boy, it has helped me immensely with calling back my power. And I really like to do that in the mornings. That's when it feels best for me, as coming from my past of the chaotic running to work after being up till like 4 a.m. that was not me. I was a shell of a being down here. And I became bullish with my energy clearing and my resetting, and just after the implosion and the loss of so many friends in my life, and just the whole lot, right? And having this incredible blessed opportunity to do that. And so I would love to share the power spell with you, and I encourage you to do it in the mornings or at night, or hell in the afternoon. It doesn't matter at all. Whatever you like to do, whatever your practice is, however you ritual, however you magic is the right way to magic. And I like to do my cedar smoke smudge while I'm doing it, and then I use my spritz. I also like to do it outside. I have a balcony so I can look out at the horizon line. So I like to do that, or you can do whatever the hell you want, but it helps me come back to myself. It helps me recenter myself, and it helps me remember who the fuck I am. And I hope, my hope is that it helps you remember who the fuck you are, because you deserve to live a life of peace and calm and freedom as well. And learning how to work with energies it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing, but once you start, it gets easier like anything else. And the main lesson that I'm learning right now in my life is I absolutely do not need to take on any of that. And so when I'm feeling overwhelmed, like I've been evil-eyed, let's just leave it at that. Like I've been evil-eyed. That's where it feels like my energy is going berserk. And that is simply just a call to recenter, refocus, and remember. Okay, that's all for today. I love you all so much, and go lightly with love.